Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's Lab 20 podcast. My name is Dennis Imaan, and we're here with another inspiring, thought-provoking type of conversation. As we always say, conversations don't stop. So we're here bringing you a new guest to just have a conversation. Timve zambiri, zimena mapanga, and whatnot. My guest today is a very inspiring gentleman. I've known this gentleman for years now. I think I firstly started following him around 2017, 18, thereabouts, when I actually was introduced to follow him on Facebook because of the post that he was making on construction, and it was to do with blocks. And then I had to learn about Gizmo and whatnot, so you hear about all those things as we go into this conversation. And I'm sitting down with Mr. Ted Kwelepeta.
Yes.
How are you doing, Ted?
I'm good. And you?
I'm okay.
Yes.
I'm okay. We're surviving. And trying to see already moyo wenda motani in Malawi.
Yes.
So it's a pleasure to finally sit down with you. I think we've been talking here and there by Facebook.
Yeah.
Up, meeting at different places.
Yes.
Yeah. But you're M-Hub mainly. I got introduced to you because of M-Hub. When we did my pitch nights and whatnot.
Yes.
So it's nice to reconnect after those years and to just see and hear how have things been like.
Yeah.
Sure. So as a matter of introduction, I know there are people that are watching and they would have Ted Kwelepeta and Teddy Amatani. Can you give us a background? Who is Ted and what do you do?
Okay. My name is Ted Kwelepeta. I'm a proud Malawian, passionate Malawian, and patriotic Malawian. I am a self-taught engineer.
Okay.
Yeah, so some people call me bush engineer because I never went to university to study the engineering that I do.
Yeah.
And most of the engineering that I've learned it through Google and YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, but I came about to be in the engineering field because I wanted to solve most of the challenges that we're facing in Malawi. I always thought that all these challenges that we're facing, can't I be part of the solution? So that's why I got myself into the engineering field. Yeah.
Okay. You are very known because of your workshop.
Yes.
And which is basically your house as well.
Yes.
For those that follow you on Facebook and also on your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Where did all this start? Because, yes, you're saying you saw my challenges and whatnot.
Yeah.
But for you to make a decision to say, I want to venture into this field, which is more of innovations.
Yeah.
And to add on that, engineering.
Yes.
Engineering is a field that is sometimes taken as a sacred field.
Yes.
My lawyers, my engineers,
yeah,
my accountants, my field I spent 5 years in college. And I got 2 years plus or masters.
Yeah.
For us to just understand my concepts of engineering. What made you think of all the challenges that are there? I want to start finding solutions in the engineering field.
Okay. It's all starting back from my childhood. I struggled a lot in school. In class, mango kalaba school epera. Abfuzisaka mawerenga tikalamba malizataja. When the teacher is mentioning names, my name was always the last. And to make matters worse, in our class, starting from primary, those days, the teachers used to arrange us according to our intelligence.
Okay.
So the teacher's desk would be on that corner. Now, on the furthest corner, there will be the smartest kid in the class. So they will be coming down to the dullest student. So my desk was always in front,
closer to the
teacher because of me struggling in school. I think maybe I might have had a kind of a challenge whereby memorizing is a big problem for me, even up to now. I find it very difficult to memorize. So you can just imagine if you are not good at memorizing, automatically you'll be geography, history, biology, all those kind of things were a challenge for me. Well, mathematics was worse because you still have to memorize multiplication, theories and all those type. So, lucky enough, with my struggles, I managed to pass my Form 4. My father was very disappointed because my father was a book smart. He had piles and piles of certificates. So he used to tell me that, with the way our country is, iweyo future yako ndeya baba yuzavutika. And looking at the way my father raised us, because of his education, we lived in a good environment. I can't say that like many people will say, background yange nene uvutika kwambiri. No, background yange nene know at least my parents provided us a good life. We used to say kuna miwawa kuja. So I used to think, now, if my father is saying this and he's provided me this life, it means my children, they will never experience what I have experienced. Before my father used to paint a picture and say, you might want to sit there, that will be a job, security.
For the school, you are going to pay.
So me, I said to myself, if this is now being this kind of a challenge, what am I going to do? Then I started looking around and say, okay, I'm going to go to America. But in America, I need the money to go there. How about South Africa? So one day, my father, after I finished my Form 4, I was working for a certain company called the AMI. So I was keeping my money. I worked for 1 year. So the whole 1 year, I was just saving money in my account. And then after after 1 year, I went to my boss and asked for leave. So they gave me a leave. I went to the bank, bought some traveler's checks, and convinced the truck driver to give me a leave to go to South Africa. And I left. I didn't even say bye to my father. So
what year is that?
That should be around 1989. 1989, somewhere in 89. Because I remember in 1990, I was still in South Africa, if I'm not mistaken. Even the time that Mandela was coming out of prison, I was still around there in South Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, but then when I went that time, I stayed for 1 year complete in South Africa. So I used to live in a farm, Then what now gave me that courage is that I used to think, South Africa, I must learn the skill that will help me when I go back to Malawi. Because that time when I was in Malawi, there were people who were not educated, but who were very, very rich. Ajina Makumula,
yes,
Tuwiche, Gwenda Jenda, all those people. I want to be one of those people. Maybe that's my destiny, to one day be able to run my own business. So South Africa, it was a place where I have to first get money, but also the knowledge for me to bring.
So you can be able to do something.
Yeah. So after I finished 1 year, I came back to Malawi. My brother had come there and then came back to Malawi. But I had worked a few jobs, and I was also doing a small business of selling the body. Then I came back to Malawi after buying a car. So then I started going up and down until late in the late 90s. Then I met my wife. She's South African.
Okay.
So I met this girlfriend, fell in love, we got married. Then I stayed in South Africa, permanent. Now, after getting my papers to stay in South Africa, like now I'm legal in South Africa. Yeah. Because all the other times I was like illegal. But now I became legal in South Africa. And then the whole world, a new world opened up. I realized that ANC with Mandela, they had put what they call the BEE, Black Economic Empowerment, whereby companies were forced to put black people in all layers of the company. But now, a lot of the black people there in South Africa, they were always rushing for, companies like banks and all the other things.
But the white collar type of
jobs. But they didn't want to go into fields like farming industry, fields that were very odd. So me, I went to this farming industry. So I used to work for companies that had to do with farming and other stuff. So when I got my papers, I was lucky enough to be able to be employed by a company called Grand West Casino. It's the biggest casino in Africa, and also it's in the top 10 in the world. So I was taken there as a supervisor. Now, when I was there, the first day that we did our induction, everybody had to introduce themselves. So when my turn came, I said, my name is Ted. I am from Malawi. And everybody said, wait a minute, you say you're from Malawi? I said, yes. They said, we hear Malawi is a very poor country. I said, yeah, that's what they say. And we hear that in Malawi you sleep in trees and caves. I said, no, but that's not true. So when we finished that induction, I went home. I told my wife, I said, you know what? I have got a big challenge there at work. She said, why? I said, no, everybody was talking about Malawi and they were always talking negative things about Malawi. So it means that if I fail because it was like a new company, they just opened a new casino and everybody who was employed was new. So we didn't have any experience in the casino. So we were being trained from scratch. If I fail, they would say, Ted is failing because he's from Malawi. Don't forget he comes from the poorest country in the world. So I said, no, I am going to surprise them. I'm going to show them that I might come from a country where it is perceived to be poor, but in my head, I'm not poor. So I did very well in that casino, up to a point where I was promoted to go to Kimberley to run a casino called Flamingo Casino. So I was there as a shift manager. Grand West, I was a supervisor. There I was a shift manager. But in the casino, I used to learn the machines because it was the first company or casino to use a smart card. Because in my other casinos, they use chips. So there we were using a smart card. You set on the machine, like an ATM, and then you play, the winnings go there, you cash on the ATM in the casino. So sometimes there will be some glitches. So I was now known for being somebody who was very good to understand how to do the calculations, to solve, to find where the problems were. So whenever they had problems, there was always going, take. So I said to myself, now this is something. This guy is somebody who was seen as a very dull person in Malawi. Here I am, I'm now a shift manager running a whole casino. So my mind started thinking of doing business. I said, no, I need to do business so that I can go back to Malawi. So I bought a dilapidated truck, renovated it, and then one day I resigned from my work to be carrying stuff for people from Malawi to take from South Africa, go to Malawi. Then at the end of the day, I didn't do my research well. People were not paying me, and it failed. And I ended up in South Africa, no job. I had bought a brand new car, which I was paying every month. I didn't have money to pay. Now, for me to survive, I went in the street to start selling sweets and all that stuff. Okay, to cut the long story short, I ended up getting out of the street, worked for a wine estate company called Boschendau, and then got another job with Distel. Distel is the company that makes Amarula, Savannah, Amarula. I went there as a sales rep. And then while I was doing that, my mind was always, I want to go back one day home. So when I got this job, my manager said one thing. Her name was Debbie. She was a lady. She said to me, Ted, I've taken a risk to give you this job because the big bosses in head office in Johannesburg, they're saying, why are you taking a black person and putting him to run CBD Cape Town? Because it's a big area and he has never been a sales rep before. So she said, I told them that the way I've seen this guy is going to be able to do it. So you must know that my job is on the line, so you better perform. My only advice I can give you is treat your area as your own business. So I said, wow, I need to treat my area as my own business. So first thing, I bought a laptop and then I started buying books every month. I buy a book of sales, maybe buy a book of management. Now, the area is mine. So it means all the places where I'm selling the wine, the waiters, they are my employees. Now I need to be teaching them how to sell my wines. So that was the mentality. I must teach the waiters how to sell my wines. So I literally used to teach them how to sell. And I saw that it's working. So I started, learning more online. And I said, no. My boss one day calls me to her office. He said, Ted, you're doing very well. I said, I'm doing very well. She said, yes, you're doing very well. I said, wow. So now I'm running my area as my own business, but it's not my company. But my boss is saying that I'm doing very well. So it means that I'm actually running a company very well. So if I go to Malawi, it means that I will be able to make it. So I started thinking now of coming back to Malawi. And then I took a holiday in 2010, came with my son, and then I bought a house in Ijemusa. And then when I went back, my sister was helping me to renovate. End of that year, I resigned and came back. But before I resigned, I was always going on Facebook and then showing the pictures of my house, what I'm doing, the insides, how I'm fixing it. Now, the guys in diaspora, they used to inbox me and say, Ted, I like what you've done there. The way you've done the kitchen. I told my builder to do the same, but he didn't understand. Can't you be able to do my house? I said, no problem. So when I resigned and came, I already had like a base of customers. I started fixing people's houses. And then another lady, she was in South Africa. She asked me to build a house for her here in Lilongwe Nishitipi with cement blocks. I think that is the time that you now started knowing me. Yeah, because I came and said on Facebook, I am building a house with cement blocks, and today we're making the first cement blocks. And then the debates starting, talking about cement blocks. You must be crazy. Why are you building with cement blocks? I started to teach people until one of my friends, he called me and said, Ted, you're making too much noise on Facebook. Do you have time? I want to ask you some questions. I said, no problem. So he started asking me, how many wheelbarrows does it take to make a block? How much quality does, how many tons, and everything. Then he was writing. So he said, okay, give me 15 minutes. And then he did his calculation and he said, you're telling the truth. Blocks are actually cheaper than cement blocks. How can I get a machine myself? I want those blocks. So I said, no, I came with a machine. Give me 1 week. So I took this machine I brought from South Africa, went to Kanengo, went to the scrap yard, bought some scrap, found the welders there. I said, I want to give you a job. I want us to imitate this machine. Started supervising them. And then we did a copy of our own. And then I called him. I said, hey, your machine is ready. He said, can you bring it? Because he was in Blantyre, I was here in Lilongwe. I said, no, I'm coming to bring it. Then I went, the day that I was going to deliver this machine, I took a Gabaza from Area 25 to go to Gulaye so that I get a minibus. But before I got in the Gabaza, I take this machine and put it on the Gabaza. And then I asked somebody to take my phone. I said, take a picture of me. So they took a picture and then I posted on Facebook. I said, guys, I've just sold my first machine. I'm going to deliver it in Blantyre. Now, as I was going, everybody was asking, what is this machine? So I said, no, this is a cement block machine. How does it do? And then a lot of questions came to the bus depot. They're all asking me questions. When I jumped off there in Blantyre to go and get in a minibus to go to Chilimba, questions about the machine. So I delivered the machine and I asked my customer, I said, hey, I want to show you how this machine is making the block, but do a video for me. So he did the video for me. And then when we finished, he paid me, got a bus. I took it around 6 o'clock. When I was arriving here in Lilongwe, it was after 12 midnight. And then I went to sleep. But before I left there, I posted that video. I said, hey guys, I've just now delivered the machine. Look at the block that it made. When I went to sleep that morning, my inbox was full. Me too. I need a machine. That was the beginning of Gizmo Machines. Now, the name Gizmo Machine comes from, I don't know if you've watched Will Smith's movie, In Pursuit of Happiness.
Yes.
In that movie, he was traveling with a briefcase. It was a medical gadget. Now, there was a guy who wanted always to steal this gadget from him. He used to, Then this guy took him for an interview. So in the interview, he was introducing Will Smith. They said, this guy is very smart. He travels around in town with this Gizmo machine. And Gizmo he carries on his hand. So that reminded me of Will Smith, because everywhere he went with that machine, people were always wondering, what is he carrying all the time? So that's where the name Gizmo comes from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. From your time in South Africa to how you transitioned to come back to Malawi and started the blocks business.
Yeah.
What do you think changed? You were working in South Africa.
Yeah.
Several jobs. You started from low jobs to all these companies, to being a sales rep of a big company.
Yeah.
What made you think I'll still need to go back? Because pano bantu ambiri umayo kuno.
Yeah.
Kuchokera katikati.
Yeah.
We've always been looking for opportunities outside.
Yeah.
And South Africa is one of the countries that everybody wants to go to.
Yeah.
When they're looking at, I need to go there.
Yeah.
And if you're in that country, you are legally there.
Yeah.
You are no longer illegal because you have gotten married there.
Yeah.
For you to actually say, but I still need to know kupita ku Malawi.
Yeah.
What was the drive?
Okay.
Going back to Malawi, the poorest country,
Yeah.
when you have a job, your family
Yeah.
in South Africa.
All right. I had a good job. I was getting paid what people would say, Teddy's got a nice salary. But on the 15th of every month, I used to have no money because life there is very expensive. And what I realized also, when you get good jobs, your lifestyle, I was married there, I was staying with my wife there. So your lifestyle also was going a bit advanced. So your expenditure was always high. So at the end of the day, I was always on the 15th, I have no money. But I'm getting a good salary, I'm driving a company car and all those things. December 2010, I came to Malawi just for a holiday with my son. That's the time that I bought the house that I was renovating.
In Chemus.
In Chemus. So when we came, I was looking for a house to buy. So I traveled in all the areas in Blantyre. Then I came to Chapima Heights in Chiromoni. There's an area that they call Chapima Heights. So I was going there to go and look for a house. So while I was there, is it Chapima? I can't remember whether it's Chapima, but it was in Chiromoni.
Chapima, I think, is in Mandala.
It's Mandala.
I think it's Mandala.
Chiromoni is another name, or like a Gariva or something, but yeah.
It's got Fargo.
Fargo.
Yeah.
Chiromoni Fargo. I went there. So I looked, I found that the houses were expensive. Now I saw this big SUV. I don't know whether it was a Prado or what. It's driving. Now, I was walking around there to look for these houses. And then this car stopped. And I was on the other side of the passenger. And this guy put the windows down. And a very nice, cold wind air was coming because he was running his air condition. So it was coming there. And he said, Ted, amwene mulivo. Nendo randi livo. Ara, ukutani kunoko. Dara, ndabwera holiday. Wabwera tupo kuchoko jone. Dara, ndabwera holiday. Dara, ndogu satani. Dara, utele kwenye basi nunu. Wanga nufuna jani, nufuna nyumba. Ufuna ukale neba wanga. Nendo urai. Awara, deni yanga rundi yoyoto. Umenda ngoto, that's my den. Big upstairs house. Then Jomo Banga Jan, bus Tamanga town, we're doing business. And I'm going to tell good luck. As I went outside, to Peter. I've been in South Africa for almost 12, 13 years. I can't buy a car like that. And I can't build a house like that. And then yet, now Ted is in South Africa. But look at this guy is doing it right here in Malawi. I said, no.
So who was this guy?
I can't remember even who. So
just like you remember it here.
Martial arts. I put his face. Who is this guy? I can't remember. But I said, but look at this guy. But he's doing his own business. I said, what am I doing in South Africa? No, I need to come back here. So the problem was now, Jan, what am I going to do in Malawi? I went to my University of Hard Knocks, YouTube. So I typed there, search Malawi. Businesses you can do in Malawi. Nothing. I tried to find a lot of information about Malawi. Nothing. I said, no, this is not going to help me. I called my sister. My sister, I want to come to Malawi to do business. What can I do? I said, brother, don't even think about it. You can't come here. Why do you want to come back to Malawi? What can I do? But people in Malawi are doing well. And at the time, Tigabita, you must show in Nigeria. Gono kuti Nigeria chapanga kama chake panja shop ya tata and akupanga business Malawi kuno they're doing well ndipo somebody to foreigners. Why am I wasting time in South Africa? No, I need to come to Malawi. I want to come to Malawi to be like these guys. I don't want to be here and be like everybody else who complains about Malawi. Another thing is also I have now learned now the Malawi kuno we are more peaceful people. And I thought if I can have a lot of money and I live in Malawi, I will live a house. My house don't need burglar bars. I don't have, when I want to go anywhere, I don't have to be scared. South Africa, when I used to go to my house, what I used to do, I was staying in an area where we got RDP house because Mandela was giving free houses. So because of my wife, we got a free house. But you can know free houses, it's an area where it's a rough area. So if I'm doing night shift, I'm coming home. I used to say, okay, I'm getting close to home now. I phone my wife and I say, you know what? I'm at such a place. I'll be at home in the next 3 minutes. So my wife will go and open the key lock like this. Now, in a organize. Then I was looking straight. Okay, there was lights. Then I'll be driving. Huenda antuja ndikangona tu paimantu ndimadutsa panyumba bangati yakozungulira nukuza nkazonga ndaona anthu panjapo taona akaona tala unduza akachoka akatachoka. That's when I was going home. So I used to always, when I come at night, my wife must always be ready, so that when I just get in the yard, I take my things quickly, lock. And because I was driving company car, so you imagine the location, I'm driving this nice company car, so I must get quickly. That was my life all the time. Ndikamabwera by robots. Ndimati ndikamene sepa ndikanoti red. Ndimayipanga no camera slowly panguno ndikangoda green ndapanga rev ndoti ndikaduse iri green. Yeah, ndisaime ba robot kuti udikira kuti ikhale green because I can get hijacked. Kunchitwa anatuza kuti you're driving company car. Should you get involved in a hijack, your life is more important. Just give them the key. They even taught us how to deal with a hijack. You come in there, you lift your hands, you look down, don't make eye contact, you look down, you tell him, I have got a seat belt, ndifuna ndimasula seat belt, yauja kuuza, masula seat belt, because ukabanda umuza, ukamama sula seat belt, kacha! Demu ndamajina mandala futi yakuombera. Ndo muze ndikufuna ndimasula seat belt, masula kichi, bubang, bas. And tsegula. Then you come backwards, don't look at him. Kumpata magi, it was a bit. Just that was the life I was living. So I said, no, I want to go back home. But now, what am I going to do at home? I went to YouTube. What does the most richest people in the world do? I discover most of them are doing property. I said, when I go to Malawi, I'm going to be in property. Now, so I need, what business I'm going to do? I'll do buy, fix, and sell. But now, I cannot run this business if I don't understand the property industry. So what must I do? I said, Mandela gave me this house. So everything, basic things, nyumba mumu. So now I'm tiring. I went to CTM, I want to tile my house, but I want to do myself. How can I do it? DVD tiring. I took the DVD, watch it, and I was able to go and tile in my house. I want to do kitchen cabinets. My video, so I did cabinets, I did tiling, plumbing in my own house. So I said, no, I think I am ready. So that time when I came, I bought the house in Chemusa, and then I came end of 2010. I resigned from my job, and then to come and finish that house. So I went on the same Facebook to say, guys, I'm renovating my house, I'm finishing, I want to sell it. And I finished the house the same month, I was able to sell the house. And then I bought a second one in Jirimba, started renovating, people were watching on Facebook, project Angaja. I sold that house. And somebody gave me a job here in Ilongwe to say, Ted, do a job for us in 25. They came here, started renovating their house also. Then everything I was sharing on Facebook. In the meantime, I'm still talking about the cement blocks. People are buying the machines from me. And then that's when government in 2015 announced, we don't want to do cement blocks, bent bricks anymore in our projects. So I said, now it has opened a new door now. My construction companies as a machine. That's when I went to my University of Hard Knocks YouTube to learn how to make a mechanical machine. So there were a lot of videos that I learned, then I made this machine. So to cut the story short, what made me to come to Malawi is the fact that I realized that people in Malawi who are doing business were living a better life than most of us who are living in South Africa. So I wanted to be part of that. And then I also realized that there was a lot of opportunities in Malawi. I was able to start my business while I was there in South Africa through Facebook. People telling me, Ted, ineso mfuna ukuluka bwera Malawi zandipangire. So when I came here, the market was there already. So that is the reason why.
Okay.
I don't know if it really makes sense.
No, it does.
Yeah.
And how did that go? I've seen you made the gizmo.
Yeah.
And there was a time you actually graduated to start making this more of not just mechanical, but electronic brick making machines that were making several bricks at once.
Yeah.
That move from the mechanical ones to how did it come about, and what were the wins or the challenges that you faced?
Yeah.
But I would also want to appreciate how the mechanical ones, how business one was with the mechanical ones, and if you're still doing, how is it going?
Okay. For me to start with the mechanic, it was now the 2015 when government announced that they don't want bent bricks in their projects anymore. So it means every construction company needed to either find where to buy the bricks, the blocks, and also either find themselves a machine. So the only option that they had was to buy from South Africa or from China. So I said, no, I want to compete with the South African and the Chinese one. So let me make my own mechanic machine. But I didn't know how I was going to be able to do this. You must remember, I'm not an engineer. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I made this manual one. It was just a simple machine. But I said to myself, okay, the only thing I can do is, first of all, I need to understand how that mechanic machine works and how can I make one. So I went on Facebook. I used to find in South Africa, they had the machine, but when they share on YouTube, they were not sharing the details. So they weren't sharing the details. So I looked, West Africa, there was nobody doing it. East Africa, there was nobody. It was only South Africa. China was making more advanced machines. Yeah. But then I found in Europe, I think it was like Portugal, and Russia, there were people who were making this machine, the mechanic machine, where you just push it like this and you put, they were calling it the egg layer. South Africa was also making the egg layer, only that they were not sharing the tools of Buno. But Kurasha, the tools zinalizoti amajambula from this side, this angle, then maona chikugwedeza gugu ndakumata akagwedeza kumachikanka ndikuchipanga pulu. Then okay, so how can I make chinthu chomwe chikugwedezacho? Then I see kumene chikugwedeza amaika ku mota yoti ndimwe magwedeza kumeneko. Then how can I make that motor? Then I saw ku India enaka mapanga ma vibrating table. The vibrating table jamarenga shaft ndikuika po ma disc ndikuadula half. Ndikuamangira umeko. The ma disc actually half shaped amapanga vibrate. That how can I take that and put it on my machine instead of that motor? If I motor mene kunoko sindinga ibezi. So I said, let me try it. So I went to kugula material, ndagula chi channel, my flat sheet. That was a nyamata ndati upanga to make a machine. You think you can make that thing? That I would try. Let's do it. So we said, let's start with a paving machine. So we made the paving machine. Kwesa uchipanga machine, failure. Kwesa upanga just failure. Then one day I just figured it out, and voila, we make the block. The brick, it was a paving brick. So when we made that thing, I shared on Facebook. Machine mechanic. That month, it went crazy. My orders, how much? That each intuition, this is Dabanga pave. So now I have a block. The machine block and it's in Naran, it's in a bank. Then they go 500,000. Hey, mama order na a lot of orders. And then that month, Antunua and some order. Then landlord wanga. And I order. Kulibita wabanga machine, inda wabanga advertise kuti wabanga machine. The same month in landlord wanga kumanuza kuti nyumba tukuifuna. Chifukwa ife timamangira ba machine wati mapangira muyadi momwemo. Then how are we going to do it now? Now I must go look for rent, house, and the workshop. Amuzankazi wanga ndati iwe if this is done, we can't manage it. The only thing we can do, because we had a plot there. And then tinangomanga nyumba kumasina yeke denga. Let's go and stay there. Kulibe magetsi, kulibe toilet, tikakumba chombotsi. And it was the first time my wife was ever going to use a pit like thing in her life. Or even to see one. It was going to be the one that I made. So I had to convince her. So she said, my husband, I trust you. Let's go. So no problem inayo tinapita ndi generator, right? Generator chimatha kungopanga kuchita work ndi welding machine amosi. And maoda ndambe mbiri. So we needed to add more welders. But generator tikaonjezera welding machine yachiwiri imalephera kuti ipange operate. How am I going to do this? I went to my university of the Hard Knocks YouTube. How to make a generator. I saw my videos kutoka ku China. Amatenga engine cha ameki ndikulumikisa ku alternator. I think I can do this. Nabira town ko gula engine, gula alternator. Mpeza electrician ukandengo tabwera uzandithandize tichione ngati tingachipange generator. And then we made a generator. So we're now able to add more machines. And like enough, that's when program ya hub ya Grow Malawi was coming. And this challenge that I had, kanti maoda ambiri kukhala malo oti soyeneleka kumaso I'm using generator yori ndapanga ndekha sindikuuza Eskom, made the presentation yomwe ndakapanga ku hub to be very worthwhile. They were so like taken about it. Then I got that competition to get $40,000 yomwe tinamangira workshop ndikugula solar. As I'm talking now, my workshop does not use Eskom. This is now like 5 years I'm running. Blackouts, when the blackouts come, I still operate. Yeah.
Okay.
So challenges, you asked about challenges. When we started selling this mechanic machine, the challenges we were facing, the customer kagula machine, they were always having challenges there. So this one will have challenges, this will have challenges. So I said, why my customers always have challenges? I realized that my machine is not always being consistent. Chifatira banga machine ona kuti munthu akagula machine yote akapanga block ya 150. Ngarafuna kuti akapange block ya 200. Timatha kupanga mode tizikalowa momwe muchi. So it meant kuti the mode, the 150, when you take it out, this mode of 200 must also be able to go in there. Never basically change your 200 jekurani ikukanika. So how would I be able to make a machine yoti izita kusintha zikombole? So I went again, University of Hard Knocks, YouTube. How do manufacturing companies do their manufacturers? So with a lot of research I found in Japan, companies like Toyota, Nissan, Malawi, boma kumene kwanana kuti companies zipanga support small businesses. So what they do is they allow the big company must give the small business job yoti mapatsi ena magali moromoja. So makubanga azichokera ku small business to make sure that my small business is safe. Okay. So I said a small business is supplying material to Toyota. How can they be able to make material ambili as a small business? Then I realized we don't hajama use templates and jigs. So that's when I came up with the idea of using templates and jigs. Then I discovered that when I use templates and jigs, my products are consistent. My problems are speedy plus consistency. It's on spot on. So even I've been talking on Facebook, but most of the companies who are in construction or manufacturing, they need to put systems in their business. Because if you don't put a system, you face challenges. Because template and jigs, in the past I was depending on the welder. How to make the machine. Pano, I depend on the template and jig. Welder, I get a new one.
Use the same one.
Yeah, without any problems. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting story. Interesting insights. And I like how you're always referring to YouTube. This happened, I went to YouTube. When you look at us as a country, we have schools like the Polytechnic, which is Mubas now, has been in operation for years and years. Yeah. There have been civil engineers, mechanical engineers, electrical engineers that have gone through those corridors, graduated, went on to do their masters and whatnot. Yeah. When you look at the products of these schools, and the level of production, should I say, or the level of results that they have achieved out here. Yeah. Because you have been mentioning, are you convinced that our engineering schools, in this case, are responding to Mavuto amenity now as a country when it comes to manufacturing of all these things? mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, and civil engineers. What's your perspective of the system and the products or the results?
I think you are asking in terms of saying, why is it that we don't get a lot of these engineering people starting their own businesses?
Exactly.
Is that from that?
Because looking at you, let's say with even the cement blocks, the machine for making cement blocks, I would presume that somebody from, let's say, the mechanical engineering school could have done that already as their project in school and put it on the market and have it. The same thing with the other things that you have been doing. Why is it a problem that most of these people are not bringing out products like those on the market, starting their own thing and saying, this is something that I've not even to invent, but we've seen it somewhere and we have made ours, we can be making this locally.
I think, first of all, it's a fear of failure. And where does this fear of failure come from? When you do something in Malawi, if you do something great, I'm sure you will notice on our social media platform, when somebody does something great, people don't focus on the greatness. They focus on the weakness of that greatness. So they will magnify that weakness. So they will talk. So when somebody does something and fails, it's even worse. They're going to make you suffer and they're going to make you miserable. Now, me, I'm a different breed. I don't care what people say. I don't care what people think. If I fail and people laugh, I don't care. And I accept that I failed. Then I ask myself, why did I fail? And how can I learn from this failing? And then I find a solution to fix that fail. And then I come back and say, look at me, I've been able to do it. So I think that at the university, maybe there's also the same system where failing is taken as something that is very, they put them in the mindset of don't fail.
Exactly.
They don't give a room for you to fail.
That's what the education system is. Because if you fail in primary school, it's either you repeat the class, you keep repeating until you pass. In secondary schools, like the ones that I went, some of us went, you fail, you are dispelled. You are out. And the universities do the same. If you fail, you are weeded out of the university. So failure is non-negotiable in the education system.
So I think now that carries on to the real world. You want to do that machine. You want to fix the challenges in the agriculture sector, but you are afraid that you might fail. And now if you fail, the people are going to look at you as a failure. For me, failing is just an opportunity for me to learn. For them, failing is like an embarrassment. So that's why I think it's not like kulibe and hoti ma engineer oda anga teobangas mendi mabangas alibu. That fear of failure is what is hindering them to be able to do what they're supposed to do. And another thing is, most of them, because they're afraid of failure, now they want to go in the employment sector to be employed. And in the employment sector, the system that was put in Malawi, I don't know when it was put there, it was put in a system where the education of the paper is put on a pedestal. Now, when a student is at the university, when he gets the achievement of that paper, to him, he has achieved something. Well, for me, when I've gone to University of YouTube, I don't care whether they're going to give me a paper, I want the skill. So I want the skill that I must be able to use when I'm trying to make my machine. The guy from the university, he went to university, got a skill. But the skill is not so much important for him, but the paper. Because now, if in South Africa, when they're looking for, let's say, a foreman in the workshop, they say, we're looking for a workshop manager. Advert. You go and check all the adverts in South Africa. They will say, workshop manager needed. Must have 5 years experience. Degree in engineering is an added advantage. So it means if I go there and I've got 10 years experience, but I don't have a paper, you go there, you don't have experience, but you got a degree, I'm going to get the job because I have more experience than you. But in Malawi, it's not like that. I will never get a job even if I've got experience. I worked in the casino, running a casino as a shift manager, which had 365 slot machines. They used to leave me the whole night shift. You were alone as a shift manager, running casino, tables department, security, surveillance, and the hotel. You were solving all the challenges from there. Here in Malawi, our casinos, they have got like 30 slot machines. They will never give me a job because I don't have a degree.
You don't have a qualification for, which is the degree paper.
The degree paper. But I have got so much experience because I can run a big casino, but they will never give me that job. And if I go back to South Africa and I throw my CVs around, even where I used to work before, they will give me back a job and I'll go and work as a shift manager. But in Malawi, I can't work as a shift manager because I don't have the paper. So I think that because they removed that, it now starts making these people to be lazy now. Because imagine if you went to university and you find that you go and you'll be competing with somebody like me who didn't go to university. So you immediately, you're going to start getting jacked up to say, no, I better gain my experience, I better be good because already I have got a degree as an added advantage. You understand what I mean? And so I find that somehow people now always look at, I would rather go look for a job because I've got a degree, then I'll get a job. Now, how many jobs are there available for people? And then you find that they're failing. So you find that all the innovative things that are being done in Malawi are being done by people like us. And another thing is, when the guy from the university wants to start making machine, when I came, we were talking about cement blocks. They said, Kwelepeta, you want to come to Malawi and start a cement block? I said, yes. Have you done the feasibility study? Mm-hmm. I said, what are you talking about? No, you need to first do research and to find out whether they are viable or feasible and all that stuff. Me, I said, but there's nobody who's doing it in Malawi. So that's an opportunity for me. I want to be the first one. They said, no, have you asked yourself why people are not doing it? I said, no, I don't care why people are not doing. If Malawi has got, say, 20 million people, citizens, out of the 20 million, only 5% of them are going to be people who are willing to buy the machine for me. That's enough for me. That's how I'm looking at the opportunity. But for them, they're like asking questions. Has it been done? How much does it cost to do this? Can Malawians afford? Can this? Then when they do the calculations, it can't work. Then they say, no, it can't work. But us, hard knocks, we just go and do. That's why you find that somebody look around and say, I'm going in town. There's nobody selling water. Then in the shop, they got a plastic bag. A plastic bag, we can move mads, we can fridge, we go and down mads. And they're able to make a living. And that guy never went to school, never did feasibility study, never did anything, just went in town and is making money.
With that assertion, do you think our education system is saving us? If you think all these people that are doing college and whatnot are unable to bring out products or equipment, manufacture things because they're afraid of failure, of which you are attributing that to the school system.
School system.
Do you think the school system is not saving us as a country?
No, it's not saving us because we're not producing thinkers. You find that most of the people who are doing something that you can see, majority the generation IFA. Why? Generation IFA school it was producing thinkers. Chiva maruza kuti tiri ku primary, right? Standard 3. Tsikula kutala kuti Wednesday ndi tsiku la handwork. Ndiye anyamata usankhe upanga chipande kapena upanga mthiko. Atsikana musankhe mupanga dress ka mupanga chani. Nde mutimapita. Ndio mapita nukafunafuna kuti kodi ine ndipanga chani, andipanga chipande. Kuti chipande icho chikatheke chifunika chani, afunika thabwa. Nde ndikalepeza kuti. That is a thought process. Chifukwa munthu ukafuna upanga china chake umaina ukhandi thought process. The thought process ija uipanga uli ndi zaka time ine uli standard 3. You are starting to do this thought process, going to find chipande chija and kuchisema ndapo amazachicheka ndikupatsa mark. Right now, so says there's not any.
Like you say, I'm remembering, like, we have done that in the primary. Yeah. Kabanga komphasa, bila ukadula mabango aja
Mabango.
like panga mphasa bwino mamati madomats mapanga zimene khonje panga khonje kumpalapala then you do chingwe then you kusoka
those are very very important things because
ukamanda panga zimene jazi amakubweza ku school.
You see what I mean? Those things are very important because now you're teaching a child to think. And I know what is school education at him as a early childhood development. Because in South Africa, my kids, some I was at a certain tiko. When I got a bit of crash, and then I would tibida shop, tikagule my pen pens, tikagule my crayons, and there was a special type of crayons. Tikangule scissors, there was a special type of scissors. Tikangule pleats, glue, special glue, and then tikagule magazine. Ndi mwanali sama bwera ndizimezi jana. Dama muyikira file yake. Dama lero ndi tsiku liti sewere ndelo mutenge muchani magazine yako scissors ndi macrayon ndi ka file kako. Ndama muza kuti uzipita mu mbuku muja uzikadula zithunzi. Zithunzizo upange story. Ndama mwana amadula zithunzi jandi kupanga stick. Basi ndiye ayika bambo amayi galimoto nyumba chani ndapo nsama bwera kuti wapanga chinthu chani ndapanga kuti ife family yathu awandi bambo anga awa amayi anga galimoto yathu nyumba yathu well done ndamo muzuti buchene kuika mbuku mwake ukaonesa bambo ako ukalongosolere ndamo bwera matilongosolere mwana wako mkaka akuthautani kupanga thinking thought process
pattern concept ya chinthu
thought process so kuti na masera ma game yo imakhala nditi different shapes. Naja share pa Facebook bacha. Kamwana ka Chinese kamachita fit ma shape osiyana. They were playing those games. So those games are teaching a child to those were like problem solving games. Ena maka thinking games. Ena maka memorizing games at a very young age. Kuti mwana aphunzire zinthu zimene. Imakanga kuti you are training the brain to think at a very young age. Ndelero tinacho sazosizija ndetu ufuna kuti munthu apite ku university akamalize akayambe kuphunzira thought processing yofuna kupanga machine. It's very difficult. So it just looks like it's a very difficult thing. And I see now government yambobweretsa so early childhood development ku Malawi ikubwereranso. So I don't know how they're going to do it, but tinabanga missed opportunity when we did that.
What do you think needs to be done now? And when you are telling me what needs to be done, looking at your own experience, what's your interactions with Anhopunzira? When you have all these ideas, one thing that I've realized about you ever since I knew you, which you have also constantly been repeating, I went to Facebook, I shared. I went to Facebook, I shared. I've got several people that I know in these circles. When they're working on their projects, they say build in silence. Don't overshare. Panga chintu chako chija. Let nobody know. They should just be amazed by the results. Why do you think sharing works for you?
Okay.
So take me through those things. Your interactions with the academia, the experts in the field, and why you like sharing things on social media.
Okay. With the academia, I've discovered that protocol is very important to them. So everything needs to go in a certain protocol. So if things are supposed to be done like this, they are always supposed to be done like that. You can't come up with another idea and say, no, we want to change that and try to do it this way. It doesn't work. So that's how most of our academia here, they think in a straight line. While me, I don't think in a straight line. If a new technology comes in that will start making Njero and Dimadea, I am going to be the first Malawian to do that. I am not going to say, I need my blog, then my blog. I'm not going to do that. Now, when it comes to sharing, what people don't understand is that when you're doing business, for me, in my way of thinking when doing business, if I want to do business, first of all, I need people to know about me. And in our country, it's very difficult for people to accept somebody. I was telling this guy that we were shooting today, he went home to knock. And for people to accept, I must come and do business in Makanika because it's coming with something that is totally new. Now everybody is scared that that is how we look at things here in Malawi. When somebody comes with something new, it's very difficult for people to embrace. But then another thing is, we have low levels of trust in Malawi. It's very difficult for us to trust each other. Therefore, for you to do business, ngati iweyo first of all anthu sakuvomereza kuti idea yako isaivomereza, you won't be in business. Number one. Number two, if people don't trust you, they want to do business with you. Now, how do you build trust? Now, if you say don't share what you're doing, yes, you build you make something, who's going to buy it from you? Because people, one, they don't know you. Number two, the trust levels already, they're questionable. Eh? Now, if I come, when I came from South Africa, I said, now, how will I be able to maneuver in Malawi and Ibange accept? I realized, you know, a lot of people, they don't trust each other. We don't trust each other. Now I need to build that trust. But now, how am I going to build my trust? By doing something that an ordinary person wouldn't be able to do. So I said, I'm making this machine, and this is the process that I'm making. Then I'm sharing, doing video and posting on Facebook.
Step by step.
Ted, how much are you selling your machine? I don't say, meet me inbox. I say, my machine is 75,000 watt. Then somebody says, okay, now do you offer discount? No, I don't offer discount. After 3 months or 7 months, somebody asked me, how much is your machine? My machine is 75,000 watt. Somebody asked me, mix yama block. Kudi mabanga mix bunch. 1 bag to 35 blocks. And I mean to 35, 1 bag to 35, to 1 bag of cement to 5 wheelbarrows of cement.
Of sand.
Of sand. And this has been like this ever since I started until today. So this is another way of building trust. Right now, I don't know how many people in Malawi somebody can send from diaspora 2 million. Ted, machine yako kugulisa ndrama zingati 4 million. Umafuna ndrama zingati deposit 2 million. Ndikutumizira ndrama 2 million ukatenga ku Western Union. Ine ndikukatenga 2 million Western Union. Upange machine ukamaliza utumize ku Blantyre. I don't know how many people can be able to achieve that, to get that trust. Now, where did that trust come from? It came from my transparency. So other people, they see my business, as I should hide what I'm doing. For me, in a business, I have to be transparent. So for me, transparency helps me to build trust with my customers. Trust everywhere. Even in big companies, they trust. Business. So social media is a good platform for you to build trust for your customers.
Okay. We are running out of time. Oh, this is what happens when you have this type of conversation. We still have a lot of things to talk about. Yeah, that's why I actually encourage people to, whenever you are free, let me know. Let's sit down and have conversation. And talk. I like talking.
Malawi, we need to talk.
Yeah.
We need to talk these things because when we talk these things, then we're starting to open up
and help people actually see and appreciate.
Yeah.
And in line with that, I've noticed now that you are pushing more of your vlogging, which is your YouTube channel, and sharing whatever is happening in Malawi.
Yes.
And you have built also a good following that has good trust in understanding your perspective of development in the country. Mainly, a lot of people that I go there and I read comments on your YouTube channels.
Yes.
What prompted you to actually start vlogging?
Okay. What prompted me was looking at the way business was going. My business was not doing all right. Because you must remember, some of us, we do business as a survival mechanics. Because if my business failed tomorrow, I am finished. Who's going to give me a job in Malawi? Nobody's going to give me a job. So failure, for me, is not an option. So economy is good or bad, I have to find something to survive. Because if I cannot be able to survive, then one day I'll pack my bags and go back to South Africa, which I don't want to do. So I said, what else can I do? Then I started looking at YouTube. Then I saw that at the time when I was starting my YouTube channel, there was a lady, a Malawian who is in the UK. She sent me a message. She said, Ted, I want you to watch this video. There is an American family. that are living in Gambia amanga nyumba yawo ndi mablogo ndatabwera ku nyumba anazapeza kuti anagula farm ndamachita kuyendera ndanamanga mpanda farm ita. So when they came to this day they found kuti mpanda uja wagwa mablogo onse aphulika. Ndipo kwenye kunali debate kumene ku Gambia kukambira ndizachitika bwanji zimene zichanye ndemayo chakuti atete taona zimene maybe wewe umadziwa za mablogo ngatani ungathandize. So I went to this YouTube channel, then I realized that this had happened. Then nambo banga ma comment. Ma blog wanu apulika chifukwa chona kuti ujeni curing sinali bwino. So people started debating me on those on that comment section. So I said, wow. And 2 hours into this ma blog sakuzimvetsa. So I started doing my video on how to start a cement block business. And then I go to those comment sections. I say, in the video, you position how to make your blocks and also how to do a business. So those people started coming in. And then it brought a lot of Americans. Now those Americans, they started, wow, what you're doing, my friend, this is great. We want to come to Africa and what. Tell us more about Africa. Then I said, okay, this can be an opportunity to teach Americans how they can repatriate from America to come to Africa. Because here, when we come, we think differently. You know, yes can be a no, no can be yes. But yes is yes, no is no. So I started educating Black Americans on how to come, and I suddenly became so famous on YouTube in America. And then these people, they liked me so much. They started saying, we love your workshop. Ted, you must just go to DHL. I've sent you something. I go to DHL and gulira my protective gear for my Nyamatanga. Somebody bought me a controller for my electric car. So people started, giving me all these things. I said, wow, YouTube is something great. I need to now look and start looking at doing YouTube. So that's why I ended up being on YouTube. And then I discovered that I can use YouTube now to tell stories of Malawi. The great stories of Malawi. Because I realized when I was posting my YouTube of the streets, everybody was just getting angry with me. Why am I doing that? Because anganyadire.
Some said maybe
yeah, people were saying things like that. Then I said, no, it's high time now we start telling stories of Malawi. Because the foreign people, they come here and then they go to the village and they take a picture of a video of a child who's eating a mango. Malawi is the poorest country in the world. They live on $1 a day and stuff. They don't know what podcast. We can showcase. So I said, that's now, from now onwards, is going to be my story. That's what I'll be doing, sharing good stories of Malawi. And also I'm monetized because of my South African, yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And how have people received that? Like you've said, it's not just Azungu. I mean, I'm
yeah.
And putting out negative stuff.
Yeah.
Our social media is full of negative
stuff. Yeah.
We feed on anything that's negative. Like I've said today, if there's an element of
yeah.
people still look at and then they'll dwell on that, not the good side.
Yeah.
How is the response like?
The response is very good. On my channel right now, my posts, the highest number of views are from Malawi. Only that when I've stopped these highway videos, now I'm doing business like farm, permaculture and stuff. The views from Malawi have gone down, but it's still the highest. It used to be about 60%. Now it has gone down to 30%. But now views from America. So it's Malawi, then South Africa, then America, then UK and Zambia. So there is a good following from outside. But the reason why I had to strategize, because I'm treating YouTube as a platform to showcase Malawi, but I'm also treating it as a business. Mm. Now, if I do highway, I can just give an example. If I do a video for the highway and it's got maybe 20,000 views, it makes me something like maybe $5. But if I do over permaculture, it will make like $50. because my views are America are. So I strategically position my channel to target diasporas. So you will hear every now and then I'm saying, I'm asking the person, what do you think somebody who is in diaspora is supposed to do and what? The reason why I'm using diaspora is because I've now started to understand algorithm, how it works. Algorithm on YouTube over the past few years is being manned by AI, artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence, it looks on your title, it looks on the description, but it also listens to what you're saying.
In the
Yeah. So if you're using words like diaspora, it starts looking around. My diaspora, my video. Now, because my diaspora, when they watch my video, it gets adverts and then it makes me to get pays and stuff like that. So I also treat it as a business. Yeah.
Interesting. If you are to advise a young person in Malawi who has been contemplating with I think I want to go outside to look for a greener pasture. What would be your advice as somebody that has been out there and is now settled here? This person could have maybe a degree here or what, my qualifications are now. You came back without qualifications, with just full of experience and an innovative mind, no failure principle to say, I'll do it by any means. If I fail, I'm just still learning. What's your advice to someone who is thinking really their life can only get better if they leave to go into another country?
I think that if you're young and you want to start, maybe you want to start business in Malawi, it will be very difficult. It will be very hard for you if you don't have a mentor. So for me, I had a lot of mentors, and most of those mentors were not from Malawi. They were all from America. They were Zig Ziglar, Donald Trump. Yes, I used to read books. I've got books of him. I used to read his motivational speeches and stuff. There are so many of them. Gary Vaynerchuk. I've been watching those people. And through them, they've inspired me and motivated me by watching their videos. Now, for a young person in Malawi, if they don't have an opportunity to be able to learn from these mentors, it will be very difficult for somebody to start a business. It's very hard to start a business. You go through a lot of challenges if you've never traveled. Yeah? If they are going to go outside, and when they go there, they have an opportunity to find something to do, I would say, yes, go. Because when you go there, be like me and learn from every company that you're going to work. Learn. I always say, if you're a Malawian and you are in South Africa, ugwira bagaraja, with Ndimbuno, ugwira bagaraja, learn everything. I'm not only talking about learning how to fix the car. You must also learn how he does his business. And then you copy and paste. Bring that to Malawi. And you run your business exactly the way that Bruno Amavangira run business. And then you come back to me and you tell me, you see how you're going to do. Because when you go there, you learn a lot of things. I learned, for me, I learned 5 values, very important values from Grand West Casino. Honesty, respect, customer care, recognition, and passion. They made us to memorize these things. Now, I used to ask myself, why do they make us memorize these things? It means it must be something very important to the company. Then I looked at it, honesty. Yes. I mean, if you come to Malawi and you display, and if you respect other people, you give respect to other people, and respect, because they respect you earn. Recognition. I want to share, even my channel, I want to be sharing other people. I'm recognizing their effort. They will say, we will recognize the personal efforts of our employees by giving them opportunities. That's what the company was doing. So recognition, passion. If you're not passionate, so people can see my passion, how passionate I am, even from Facebook or when I speak, they see that Munhui has got lots of passion. That's what helps me also. And customer care. If you don't look after your customers, then you are finished. Malawi, most of the Malawian people have never even experienced customer service. We used to go to South Africa with a restaurant. My wife, my son, my daughter. My daughter was a small baby that time. And it's cold in winter. And the kid is crying. Then the waiter comes. Banje, the man was zidwa. Then we say, Peter, amakaitenga blanket, ndukayika microwave. Ndukuyitendetsa, ndikubwera kuzamfunditsa mwana. That's customer service. Many people have never experienced it. Me, I have experienced it, like kundibangira ine customer service. So it's not difficult for me to give somebody customer service. Yeah. So if you're gonna get a chance to go. But the mentality must be to learn new ideas on how to run business. Customer care, you know how to do quality and all those kind of things. Sales, you learn, you bring that to Malawi, you have no problems.
Ted?
Yes.
But like I've said, let's keep in touch.
Yeah.
We want to have a lot of conversations with you.
Yes.
There's need for these conversations.
Yes.
And we don't have to wait for wiki, whenever there's time where we can, whether it's do a Facebook Live, just have a sit down. Yeah. We know we keep this for the YouTube channel, for the podcast, but we can always do live where there's something that's going on and we just want to have a conversation to just go through what's happening and what do we do.
Yes.
And it's my pleasure that you actually came through today to sit down with me on Lab 20 podcast. So we can start
a conversation.
Yeah. This is just the beginning of conversation. There's still a lot that
we can
unpack from you. Your experiences with the growth accelerator. What was that and what would you advise people? I would want to hear that. Your experience just running the business now itself. Would be okay. My deliveries, people should
how to find the customers.
Exactly. So I think this is just like the surface of Ted Kwelepeta that maybe people see, and it should be a basis of the other conversations that we would want to have.
Oh, thank you very much. I really am honored to be here and that you gave me this platform so that I can have an opportunity to chat with you. I've always been looking forward to chat with you for quite a long time.
I know. I've always been talking about that.
So I'm happy and I'm open to come anytime. There's so many things that we need to share to the young people. By the way, I was born in 1968 on the 20th of September. Because many people, they look at me and they say...
look young.
They say, so when the kids debate me on Facebook, they see this person, but he's got too much wisdom.
I was surprised when you said, I think I went to South Africa around 1988. So I'm like, I was born in 88 and everybody goes like, wait a minute, what? I said, and you were saying that you went. I was like, okay, where was this guy?
I'll be 57.
I was thought like, you are young.
No, the reason, that's another thing that has kept me young. I am not a negative person. I see positive in any negative thing that you can see. I look for positive. Number one, I don't stress. I don't try. I was telling my daughter, in life, there are things that you can have control. And then there are things that you cannot have control. Many of these times, even the debates we are having on Facebook, a lot of things people are trying to change things they cannot control. Now, when you fight with those things, you live a very miserable life. And then your body gets worn out. For me, I say, can I be able to change this thing? No, I can't. I focus, can I be able to change this? Yes, that's what I focus on. I focus on things that I can have control on. I don't focus on things I don't have control on.
Focus on things that you can have control. And please don't stress over things that you don't have control over.
Yes.
They will not help you. You will not change anything. They only help you get just stressed, depressed, and blame other people when these things did not have anything
Grow Malawi
to do with you.
Taught us how to solve challenges. I want to share with you another way of solving challenges. When you face a roadblock or a challenge, the only way you will be able to solve it is through change. So Grow Malawi, they taught us, when we face a challenge, we say, how can I change the way I do this, so that I can achieve that? I said, wow. So if I want to solve a challenge, I need to change something. So now I learned, whenever you have a challenge, anything you're facing, you're going to look for a job all the time,
change your strategy.
Change and say, let me try kukalima kumunda. Then you go, you find out the way. You see what I mean? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, thank you so much, Ted. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
And looking forward to the next time that we'll sit down and have another conversation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody who has been following. Make sure you follow Ted on his Facebook, Ted Kwelepeta, and you can also follow his YouTube channel, which is also
Block 929.
Block 92.
Yeah.
Block
929. Block what's meant block?
BLOCK
929
as numbers.
As numbers.
And you'll be able to learn more of the things that he's covering on that channel.
Yeah.
And if you just stumbled on this channel, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification button so you get notifications when a new episode is posted on this channel.
Yeah. How many subscribers do we have?
We have 2,000, I think 100 something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to share also this on my channel, I would like you, my subscribers, to go to their channel. What is it called?
Lab 20 Innovations.
So that we can get them to 10,000 subscribers. So let's subscribe.
Make sure you subscribe, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
No, thank you so much.
Thank you.
My name is Dennis Imaan, and thanks to Mr. Zigo Mombwana and Mr. E for being around and making sure that this production is successful. Thanks to all the team. Pierre Gray, Mr. Pierre Gray, Vigwawala, and the whole Lab 20 team. If you're traveling, if you're planning to travel, make sure you talk to us so we can help you with your travel arrangements in the country and outside through Lab 20 tours and safaris. Also, remember to subscribe to our Facebook channel, Lab 20 Tours and Safaris and Lab 20 Innovations. Until next time, peace and enjoy whatever you're doing.
1